Hello all, I'm so sorry that I'm unable to be there in person today, but I hope that my video talk leaves you with some points to take into consideration. First of all, I want to introduce myself to situate my work and my approach. I'm a feminist media studies scholar and my dissertation looks at personal photography and scrapbooks. I also work at the Institute for Women's Leadership at Rutgers on their Women, Media, and Tech initiative. This includes helping to create a new minor on gender and media, as well as helping to kickstart the Gloria Steinem Endowed Chair in Media, Culture, and Feminist Studies. My talk today is going to be organized roughly into 3 parts. First of all, I want to talk about shifting concern from issues of equality to thinking more in terms of power. Second, I want us to apply this to look at how power and scale change within a feminist reconfiguration of massive open online courses. And third, I want us to think about some of the opportunities and possible pitfalls of the common association of femininity with a smaller or more intimate scale. I'm going to start by problematizing the way probably many of you think of feminism, but is not really how feminism is working. So when I do a Google search to search for a definition of feminism, the definition that shows up at the top of the page says, the advocacy of women's rights on the grounds of political, social, and economic equality to men. This definition reinforces a common way of talking about men and women, that men are the standard, they hold the rights, and that women lack something or don't measure up. Needless to say, I think we can rethink or find a more helpful definition. I'd also like to point out how the Google search results on the first page of hits don't fail to show a wide array of definitions, the diversity of viewpoints, and to point to the ongoing debates as to how we think about and define feminism. Instead, it offers, mimicking a dictionary or an encyclopedia, one authoritative answer. This makes it seem as if feminism is one thing or has a singular identity, and it limits our ability to see all of the other forms or options. This is also what happens when we limit ourselves to think in terms of one dominant definition of masculine or feminine. My preference is to think of feminism in terms of power, not equality. Yes, feminism fights inequality, but it fights inequality because of the force of asymmetrical power, the oppression of one group by another. If we understand feminism in terms of power, this leads to the next question. What is power? When I ask my students this question, they say things like a leader or something that is strong. Immediately, the visual image that accompanies these in terms of gender is the masculine, again reinforcing the point that men hold power. At this point, I turn off the lights in the classroom. I ask the class again, what is power? This allows the students to consider power in terms of physics as a force or rate of movement. Such a notion of power as a force is foregrounded in Bell Hook's definition of feminism, which is the one I prefer, that sees feminism as a movement to end sexism, sexist exploitation, and oppression. Now I want us to apply our knowledge of power and how it plays out in a feminist intervention into the design of online courses. You've all probably heard of massive open online courses, or MOOCs. The New York Times named 2012 the year of the MOOC. MOOC is often distributes a single syllabus from an expert or a well-known professor to thousands of students. In 2013, a group of feminist technology scholars reconfigured the MOOC into a DOC, or a distributed open collaborative course. The DOC is designed to be collaborative. It rethinks the role of the instructor, the role of money, the role of hierarchy, and the value of massive. In addition, we can think in terms of how the DOC rethinks how power is allocated from a top-down system to a more distributed system. The DOC also highlights issues of scale, as the DOC shifts the user from one of many, the massive, to a more intimate classroom. Similar issues of scale are something that I think about all the time and my research on scrapbooks and personal photography. My immersion within personal photography has helped me to rethink the personal in a less derogatory way from the common understanding or binary of the personal versus the more public, but to think of the personal more in terms of personal and impersonal. Other media forms or designs labeled feminine are often associated with the personal. Mommy blogs, diaries, social media, and even Pinterest. The dismissal of these media as too personal disregards the way that women may use these media to cultivate greater intimacy, care, social and personal connections. Considerations of a more intimate scale, often associated with feminine media, can also offer a valid critique of growing feelings of impersonal, detached relationships. I want to leave you all to discuss the question that's still something I'm working through about how this more intimate scale associated with the feminine may positively or negatively impact design for women. I also, of course, want us to still keep into consideration how power may come into play. I really appreciate the chance to talk with you all today. Many thanks for your time, and I hope you have a great discussion.